Kevin from Chatsworth, offering you a taste of New Orleans since 1986. You're watching LA City View, Channel 35. Our city, our channel.
It's Wednesday, the 13th day of... Mr. Parks is here. Thank you, Mr. Parks. Mr. Bonnet is here. Thank you, Mr. Bonnet. Mr. Fuentes is here, Mr. Weezar is here, and Mr. Buscaino held the door open. Good job. Let's roll up that TV there and get Channel 35 on. Good morning. This is the 13th day of May in 2015. It's a Wednesday. We're in the John Ferraro Chambers. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Blumenfield, Bonham, Buscaino, Cedillo, Englander, Fuentes, Weezar, Carrasco, Corrigan, Labange, Martinez, Farrell, Parks, Price, Wesson, 11 members present and a quorum, Mr. President.
First order of business.
Approval of the minutes.
Mr. Weezar moves and Mr. Parks seconds. Next order.
Mr. President, that brings us to commendatory resolutions for approval.
Mr. Buscaino moves and Mr. Blumenfeld seconds. Next order.
Items 1 through 8 are items noticed for public hearing.
Any specials on 1 through 8?
Mr. President, we do have a card on item number 1, sir.
All right, so on item 1, we'll hold that. On the balance, let's vote on those other issues, right, Mr. Clerk?
That is correct, sir.
Okay, members, anything special? So none of those called specials. On the balance of the matters 1 through 8, let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
11 ayes.
11 ayes. Next item.
Mr. President, items 9 through 16 are items for which public hearings have been held.
9 through 16, members. Any specials, members? 9 through 16. No specials, 9 through 16. Good committee work, team. Good committee work. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
11 ayes.
That's 11 ayes. Go forward.
Mr. President, items 17 through 31 are items for which public hearings have not been held. 10 votes are required for consideration.
For consideration, let's open the roll on consideration, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
11 ayes.
11 ayes. Thank you, Mr. Clerk.
Those matters are now before you, sir.
On before me. Any specials on those matters?
Mr. President, we do have cards on items 17, 19, 20, 21, 25, 26, and 30.
Okay, so we'll hold those over on the balance, Mr. Clerk, and members. Any specials on the balance? No specials on the balance. Good committee work. What'd you say, Mr. Clerk?
The sergeant has some cards right here. Hold on one sec.
We're holding for the cards from the sergeant. Thank you, Mr. Clerk.
Mr. President, we need to add item 28 to that list.
28 to the list. On the balance, what do we got on the balance, Mr. Clerk?
I'm sorry, sir?
On the balance of those issues?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's open the roll on the balance. Close the roll. Tabulate the vote.
11 ayes.
11 ayes, so ordered. Next item.
And Mr. President, those ordinances passed earlier will go over for a second read in 1 week unless reconsidered later for 12 members.
Correct. Thank you so much.
Mr. President, on the continuation agenda, item 35 is an item for which a public hearing has been held. There has been a request to hold that matter on the desk, sir.
Good. And who asked that to request?
Mr. Cedillo's staff.
Mr. Cedillo's staff. So we're going to hold that on the staff. Thank you, Ms. Kim. That's so ordered. Next item.
Mr. President, that brings council to presentations.
There's a very special presentation. It's for Ms. Martinez now for a very special presentation. Thank you, Mr. Clerk.
Good morning. Thank you very much, Mr. President, colleagues. Today I'm very proud to introduce the University of Guadalajara Foundation and recognize their work organizing the first and largest Spanish book fairs in the state of California. Lea LA has been held in Los Angeles Convention Center It will be held starting on Friday, May 15th, and it'll run through Sunday, May 17th, this upcoming weekend. Also known as La Feria del Libro in Spanish, Lea LA is celebrating its 4th year and has grown from 36,000 attendees in 2011 to 85,000 this past year. As you know, literacy is a very important issue to me personally and to the families that reside in my district. But the ability to read doesn't just improve our children's future, it also connects us to our history and our culture. Here in Los Angeles, our history is tied to many cultures, including Latino cultures from across the globe. And Lea LA has created one of the most ambitious projects organized to promote Spanish language. Throughout this Spanish language book fair, our Latino population can celebrate their deep roots, culture, and tradition of the Latino population, while the entire city can learn about Spanish literature. Not only will the book fair have presentations and book signings, but also discuss forums about culture and the historical roots of Latin America. In addition, the book fair has dedicated an area for children with a series of workshops that are being performed and organized by Letras para Volar, an educational project presented by the University of Guadalajara. It is wonderful to see foundations give back to our entire city through these programs and encourage literacy of our language. With that, I'm so proud to present a certificate of recognition to Lea Los Angeles and the work of the University of Guadalajara. I'm sorry, we're being interrupted by folks in the audience.
Excuse me, sorry, Ms. Martinez. Sergeant, will you instruct the guest to walk him over to the side and explain that he is disrupting the meeting?
Thank you, Mr. Labange. Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce Marisol Schultz, the director of Feria Internacional del Libro de Guadalajara, and Lea LA to say a few words on behalf of the organization. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning. Thank you, council members. Thank you, Council Member Martinez. On behalf of the University of Guadalajara Foundation and the Los Angeles International Book Fair, I want to introduce you to LEA LA, the first big Hispanic book fair in California, to promote books in Spanish and our culture. This project, as I say, is supported by the University of Guadalajara Foundation based in Los Angeles. The sheer numbers of Latinos in Los Angeles, along with the particulars of this community, brought us to the decision that a book fair that reflects the unique U.S. Latino culture was a must. It is necessary to acknowledge and recognize the best of our cultural heritage, both in Spanish and English, and the many contributions our creators and emblematic figures are making to the uniqueness of this nation. Last edition, the book fair had 85,000 attendees and more than 300 publishing houses selling their catalogs in Spanish, together with a big number of lectures, forums, book signings, and presentations. In our 3 past editions, we have had the most important names in Spanish language literature, and the same will happen this weekend at the Los Angeles Convention Center, where we are expected 100,000 people, and we will have more than 300 publishing houses, again, from many Latin American countries, with a big catalog of titles and authors never seen before in Southern California. In addition to that, we will have hundreds of students, mainly small children, visiting us from Los Angeles public schools, and those in the surrounding area that will attend our workshops and special activities designed for them. The book fair will take place this weekend, May the 15th, 16th, and 17th at the Los Angeles Convention Center. We all welcome there. Admission to the book fair is free. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you, Mr. President, council members. My name is Carmen Cervantes. I am on the board of directors of the University of Guadalajara Foundation. I just want to say thank you to council member Nurit Martinez for recognizing us. And I also want to say the foundation turned 7 this year, and I want to thank council member Jose Huizar for really being there from day 1 for us, for the foundation. So thank you, and a shout out to Mayor Garcetti too for supporting us. Thank you very much.
Very well said. Thank you very much. And so I hope that you will join us this weekend and give the next generation the opportunity to learn about Spanish language writers such as Isabel Allende, my personal favorite, and our very own San Fernando Valley, Luis Rodriguez, and dream on becoming the next Miguel de Cervantes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Martinez. Much success to the Guadalajara Book Fair. Give them a big here. Here. Good job. Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Mr. Clerk, we do have 12 members now. On the balance of the issues as it relates to ordinances, could you please?
Yes, sir. Those ordinances that should be reconsidered are items 2 through 6, 18, and 22 through 24.
Thank you. So let's vote on the balance of those for the ordinance. Is that all right, Mr. City Attorney? Okay. No speakers on the queue. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
Fourteen ayes.
14 ayes.
Those matters are now before you, sir.
Super. So let's open the roll on those. Close the roll. Tabulate the vote.
14 ayes.
14 ayes. So ordered. Go forth on those. Thank you so much, Mr. Clerk. Now I'd like to call up Mr. Parks of the 8th District for a special presentation.
Thank you. Colleagues, today we're honoring a young lady, LaFay Baker, who has a very unique profession and also an avocation. She is often seen in movies dealing with death-defying free falls, mind-blowing fire gags, action-packed car chases, and breathtaking fight sequences all in a day's work. An acclaimed professional stunt woman in Hollywood, she is flawless as a diamond as one of the few noted African-American stunt women carving out a niche in Tinseltown. Her career spans over 20 years and has left an indelible mark on the field of stunt performing. Come over here, LaFay. With her strong athleticism, LaFay was introduced to stunt performing through a colleague in the probation field as a great alternative to releasing the stress of her physical demanding job. She was well trained in gymnastics and volleyball and added an innate athletic ability that proved to be beneficial in her career. After 10 years of daredevil free falls, she received the call of a lifetime from the Academy Award-winning Halle Berry to serve as her stunt coordinator for the big-budget, award-winning HBO film introducing Dorothy Dandridge. At the time, no other African-American woman had served in such a capacity, making LaFay as well-respected, admirable, and sought-after player in stunts. A dossier of jaw-dropping in itself landed LaFay incredible opportunities in entertainment, having doubled for over 40 of Hollywood's top-tier actresses, including Angela Bassett, Regina King, Regina Hall, Vanessa Bell Calloway, Lynn Whitfield, and a host of many others. Her career, full speed ahead, includes more than 20 movies, big-name features like Hannibal with Anthony Hopkins, and 2011 Green Lantern with a myriad of national automobile commercials and corporate advertising. As a successful stuntwoman, LaFay's career doesn't come without risk. She recalls an early near miss, a 1996 music video set of the Grammy-winning Fuji Ready or Not, where she broke her jaw and required complete reconstructive surgery and a titanium plate with screws. This incident didn't stop her, and she kept ticking even though she took a licking. Recognizing her often overlooked peers in stunts, she found an organization, Action Icons Award, which acknowledges the unsung heroes in Hollywood, the women who risked their lives in action-packed films, thrilling audiences with her death-defying athleticism. LaFay also worked her way into the community by daring to be different and paying it forward. She visualized and created an organization, 5013C, Diamond in the Rough, which is devoted to empowering and transforming the lives of foster care and at-risk teen girls through the arts and STEAM education. Baker turned this attention to the work behind the camera and hopes that the 20 to 30 girls finishing her program annually will directly address the industry's continued race and gender imbalance. Daring to be different and socially responsible, LaFay Baker is truly a talented, worth mentioning. Her career accomplishments have been featured in a documentary film about Hollywood stunt women, and in 2015, she will be inducted into the renowned Smithsonian Institute Entertainment exhibit honoring the contribution of African-American stunt performers. So on behalf of the city today, it was a great pleasure to recognize her for not only the work she does in the industry, but particularly the work she does with nonprofit and foster girls, at-risk girls in our community. So today we're honoring LaFay Baker.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Over here. Come on up here.
Hello. On behalf of the Diamond and Raw and as a founder, we are so elated to be recognized for the work that we are doing in the community. It is our mission to continue to empower and transform the lives of foster care and at-risk teen girls. As you know, there's so much work that's needed in the community, and we definitely need more people to reach back and help next generation. I'm going to have a couple board members say a couple words of our programs, but we're elated and we're so honored, and thank you, Mr. Parks.
Good morning. My name is Lauren Sutton. I'm on the board of directors for Diamond in the Raw. I was brought here about a year ago after seeing all the amazing things that LaFay is doing with girls and at-risk youth. The goal of the organization really is just about giving back, and I mainly got involved because I see a need for young girls to be mentored, and I think that I can contribute. My niece, Mitrice Richardson, was lost in the system, and I felt that through Diamonds in the Raw, I can continue to give back and try and find help for young girls who need help. Many of you probably have heard of my Treese Richardson story, but LaFay has given me the opportunity to give back, and I give 150% of my time and efforts to making sure that young girls are taken care of. You have 3 seconds.
In my 3 seconds, I'd just like to inform you that...
Take more time.
Thank you, Council. I'd like to say thank you and congratulations, LaFay, for your recognition, and Councilmember Parks, because this program has changed the lives of girls that I work with during the summertime and throughout the year, helping young women in urban communities that are disadvantaged, and also blending them with students who are in prominent schools and art programs. Our girls now are attending college, their confidence levels are boosted, they're learning behind the scale jobs training so that they can find jobs in Hollywood. We create a pipeline every summer in our film boot camp and leadership boot camp. And so with this opportunity through Diamonds in the Raw, I definitely want you to know that the impact in Los Angeles, our girls are changing and will change the industry as we see it in the future. You can attend this boot camp and find out more information on Diamonds. You can pass these out. Thank you. And the program starts in July and ends August 13th, July 2nd through August 13th, if you have any young girls interested. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Parks, for this very special recognition. Mr. Clerk, what's the next item?
Mr. President, that brings us to items called special for cards. That would bring us to item number 1.
Mr. John Walsh.
John Walsh, blogging at HollywoodHighlands.org or J. Walsh Confidential, tweeting at Hollywood Dems. These, again, are liens against taxpayers for unpaid taxes. Epicure Imports, $13,661. They made a big mistake at Epicure Imports. If they had given $500 to the Councilmanic district that they're in, the lien wouldn't have happened. Liens are only on people, on corporations that, in fact, don't pay off city councilmen. I don't need the balance of the time. HollywoodHighlands.org.
Antonio Lopez.
Good morning, everyone. Probably what I needed this morning is somebody to have an interpretation. But you know, what we're talking, if somebody had to pay to IRS, they had to pay because, you know, how they do taxes. We need taxes.
If you want to hold the time for a moment, we have an interpreter if you feel more comfortable.
All right.
Okay, hold the time. Hold the time. Do you live at this address, sir? Do you live at this address, sir?
Buenos días, cada uno de ustedes.
Good morning to each and every one of you.
Lo que queremos es imponer y poner un castigo a cada compañía que no esté haciendo los taxis o cada uno porque ocupamos de cada ser humano.
What we want is to impose and to punish each company that's not paying the taxes, because each one of us as human beings
tiene que pagar al IRS, dar las mejores oportunidades a las compañías. No hay que irnos mucho para arriba, pero hay que ayudar a cada uno de ellos. para que ustedes sean ayudados. Tenemos que trabajar con las compañías y corporaciones.
We have to help the companies. We have to work with companies and corporations, even if they're way up high in power.
Y que Dios esté en cada uno de nosotros, pero tenemos que esforzarlos y ayudar para que nos seamos ayudados. Gracias.
And may God be with each one of us, and we have to help each other so that we are also helped. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That completes the comment. Building and safety is here. All right, let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
14 ayes.
So ordered. Next item.
Mr. President, that brings us to item 20, called Special for Cards.
Sean Murphy.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Good morning, Mr. Chair. Carolyn Ramsey for City Council 4. Item 20 is a good item. I support it.
No other cards. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
14 ayes.
So ordered. Next item. 21.
Item 21, called Special for Cards.
Sean Murphy.
You do a good job. I'm going to miss you, man. Item 21 is another item I support. It's good for the city.
Thank you, Mr. Murphy. 25. Open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
14 ayes.
That brings us to item 25, called Special for Cards.
Mr. Sean Murphy.
We have a new clerk. He's doing a good job. Item 25,
you don't need anything.
Maybe.
Maybe. Thank you, Mr. Murphy. You're very concise there. See you at St. Charles. No other cards. Open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
14 ayes.
14 ayes. Item 26. Sean Murphy. Pass. John Walsh.
John Walsh, blogging at HollywoodHighlands.org. I'm waving my hand so you can see me. Number 26 concerns 7 surplus city-owned properties at public auction. That's a tongue twister. It doesn't mention what they are. All we know is that you're dumping them at a very, very reduced price, and the people who are tipped off about this show up at the auction, and they pick up city property for practically nothing. If you want some city property for practically nothing, I would suggest a $500 gift to the account of Mr. Krikorian. It's quite legal, and you will get information. I gave money once to a city council candidate,
He
and
is
when
not
I
talking about
called,
this
All
item.
right, that completes your comments, John. Thank you, John. Thank you. All right, is there a representative of the department here on this issue? Excuse me, Sergeant. Mr. Herman was making comments when asked. The department representative is here. Just note that the department representative is here if anyone has any questions. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
14 ayes.
14 ayes. Thank you very much. $28 now is before us. 28.
28, called Special for Cards.
Mr. Herman. Mr. Herman, your time is now. Say, just get to the podium and make your comment, sir. Thank you.
Well, I'm trying to get here, talk about item 28 in CD 15 regarding Mr. Busquiano and Huizar relative to initiating street, is it a vacation or a vacate? Regarding proceedings to vacate McFarland Avenue from approximately 190 feet to approximately 321 feet southerly D as in Dummies Street in the Council District 15 of Joe Busquiano, who's too busy to listen into his own criticism under his topic under item number 28, motion by Busquiano and Huizar, as he speaks to Mr. Bloomfield, who doesn't care about this, initiating the street vacate proceedings, and again, direct the Bureau of Engineering. Mr. Speaker, would you please direct your counsel not to interrupt me as I continue? I got 56 seconds left, please. The Bureau of Engineering to present the report regarding feasibility of vacating the requested areas of Public Works Committee. Now, are we following the guidelines of the American Disability Act, Mr. Krukorian?
He is not talking about this item now.
So the point of the city clerk's schedule was to request that the city's council consider the appropriate time under the city street vacate proceedings for council action. Again, a Part 3 of Public Streets and Highways and Services assessments, or as I call it, easements, to defraud the public vacation law for McFarland Avenue from the approximate square footage under American Disability Act. Get it? Duh.
No other speakers. Let's open the roll. Close the roll. Tabulate the vote.
14 ayes.
Next item, 17, Mr. Clerk.
17 called special for cards, sir.
Mr. Walsh.
John Walsh, blogging at HollywoodHighlands.org, or J. Walsh Confidential. This is an appointment of Mr. Adam Nathanson to the Board of Fire and Police Pension Commissioners. We have the worst fire department in America. We had the worst arson in history down at the Da Vinci. Immediately, the fire department said it was an accident. Then, when the feds came in
Mr. President,
and
this is
did an
regarding the pension.
investigation.
Mr. Walsh, this is
I
not
am
on the
talking.
issue.
That concerns the Fire Commission. Why don't you just have me arrested or shot dead? I am supporting Mr. Adam Nathanson. I hope he does a good job because we are the unsolved arson capital of the United States. Everybody knows it. And Adam Nathanson, maybe he can change it. Come here and watch the flames. No one gets caught.
Next card on 17, Mr. Herman.
Wow, the clock even starts as I speak. Ain't that a bitch? 17. Regarding from the mayor, Eric Garcetti, Ethics Commissions relative to the appointment of Mr. Adam Nathanson. Well, I'm just going to keep my time to 1 minute, as you all know, because everyone knows that Mayor Eric Garcetti doesn't do a very well job at selecting his commissions, as we heard in many commission reports, in the 2020 commission reports. Also, to include that the mayor's appointment of Mr. Adams from June 20th, 2015 for a subsequent term ending June 30th, what a joke, an extension. How dare you, Mr. Nathanson? I'm glad that you don't look at kiddie porn because we could tell you would be off topic. Keep your 3 seconds. I kept my time to 1 minute, Mr.
Antonio Lopez. Delia, who is our interpreter. Thank you, Delia.
Buenos días, cada uno de ustedes que están aquí en la sala presente.
Good morning to each and every one of you present here today.
Lo que tenemos es que forzar a cada compañía para que sea responsable de tener su extinguidor allí.
We have to make every company have their extinguishers there.
Por lo cual, si no lo tiene, será multado.
Because if they don't have it, they're going to be fined.
También tenemos cada uno de nosotros.
Sir, this, Mr. Lopez, this is for the appointment of an individual, not for whether you have fire extinguishers there. Fire pensions, pension and retirement. So you want to speak to the issue? Speak to that issue.
Sobre pensiones. Porque es que ya me he hecho de esto. Gracias.
Thank you, Mr. Lopez. Okay. Mr. Clerk, on this card, I can't read this card. We did call Mr. Herman previously, so I don't know if there's any other cards out there. I have no other cards. Okay. Excuse me? So,
It
Mr.
would appear
Herman
that
spoke.
it's filled out for Mr. Spindler.
Mr. Spindler is not here. Okay. So let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
14 ayes.
14 ayes. Next item, 19.
19 called special for cards.
One card, John Walsh. Here.
John Walsh, HollywoodHighlands.org, J. Walsh Confidential, tweeting at Hollywood Dems. This concerns maintenance of the Hollywood Boulevard El Centro street lighting district, which the property owners and the tenants have to pay for. The Hollywood Boulevard is pretty good with street lighting, only because neighborhood activists have fought for it. I would suggest anybody in South LA come up and take a look at our street lighting compared to the street lighting in minority districts. That's because we're white and we're treated better than blacks and Hispanics. Okay? This is the skin color to have in front of the city council. And that's why the maintenance of the Hollywood Boulevard, I see the lights very seldom off. They're repaired. You do a very good job. I wish you did at least half as good in minority neighborhoods as you do when our skin is white. HollywoodHighlands.org.
No other speakers on this issue. Mr. Walsh, you may want to stay there. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
14 ayes.
Next item, number 30, called special. Mr. Walsh, number 30.
This one will slip through. John Walsh, HollywoodHighlands.org. This is amending prior council action of March 31st regarding the settlement to Sandra Thomas Moses. I believe that was a LAPD case. This authorizes an additional $500,000 to her law firm of Dale K. Gallipo and Office of Sandra Thomas Moses. What's happening here is that people are being beaten up by the LAPD. They come here and you throw several $1 million at them, and the scumbags over at the press get down on their knees because they're all the males secretly in love with Garcetti. HollywoodHighlands.org.
Mr. City Attorney?
Just for clarification, this item was approved, the $500,000 settlement was approved March 31st. This only adds an additional person who receives the payment. There was a lien settled. Anyways, it does not increase the amount of the settlement.
Thank you. City Attorney's Office approved that. Continuation of public comment. Mr. Herman?
As we all know that this motion regarding Koretz, Mr. Krikorian, and what about little Nuri Martinez from the Valley? Amending prior council actions of March 31st, 2015 regarding a settlement.
In the case entitled, "Hi, I'm Sandra Thomas Moses, and I'm gonna beat the hell out of the city of Los Angeles for a couple of $1 million, subject to the approval by the mayor, who's gutting the coffers of the city budget for settlements. This recommendation, number 2, to authorize the city attorney to draw and demand as follows. The city attorney will draw a demand." Dion, what is a demand? Please tell the public what the demand is. Did you clarify that with Mr. Speaker there? I don't know, but let me continue to read it. To demand that thereon in the amount of $500,000 for all the little kids who are listening. That's about $500,000 or $500,000, something of that nature, made payable to the law office
of Dale K. Gallup, Sandra Thomas Moses, and Robert J. Young. Congratulations. We, the public, demand that this settlement go forward, knock on wood, Dion, so that the action of the city can continue to pay out of all you taxpayers, all you listeners, regarding how Miss
Murray pays out to the public for a simple amount of money under Motion 30, who she threw me off a public topic on Friday. Don't forget.
Next speaker is Mr. Lopez. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Good morning. What we had to authorization is 5,000 for lawyers because we need for protection for the communities. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. And Mr. City Attorney, I have a card filled out by Honorable Judge Harry Pragerson. Okay, so note that. We know Mr. Pragerson. No other speakers on the queue. No other public comment cards. Open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
13 ayes, 1 no.
1 no. Okay, thank you very much. So, I like 35. I've heard from Mrs. Kim from 35, from Mr. Cedillo, wanted to hold it. She said okay with it. Can we vote on 35?
Yes, sir.
Open up 35. Close the roll. Tabulate the vote.
14 ayes.
Okay, next item will be...
Mr. President, that brings council to general public comment.
Sean Murphy.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Mr. Chair. Carolyn Ramsey for the 4th District in 7 days. She's going to win. She's going to win. Everybody is voting for her at St. Charles and Cathedral Chapel. All the 4th District will be voting for her. She'll do a good job. When you come to St. Charles for the 10 o'clock choir, we have a new head usher. Keep our streets clean, our libraries open, and I got 5 meetings left. Thank you.
John Walsh.
John Walsh. There's only one thing now, and that's the election next Tuesday. You must vote for Mr. Ryu, R-Y-U, against his opponent, Labange's secretary. 100%. If you have a sample ballot, check it. See if the name Ryu is on it. Vote for it right now and send it in. It's very, very important. That's why Herb Wesson isn't here. He's out campaigning for Ryu. And I just want you to know, Ryu might be an Asian. We have no Asians on here, thanks to Mr. Parks. Mr. Parks is supporting Mr. Ryu, and so is his son, 100%. Bennett Kaiser is running for re-election at the school board. vote for Bennett Kaiser and Rue. It's very important. We have a balanced city council. Right now, it's discriminating. No Asians allowed. HollywoodHighlands.org.
Mr. Koretz?
Just for the record, since Mr. Walsh said our Council President Weston was out campaigning, he is right here on the floor, right over there. So,
disrupting that comment, Mr. Walsh. You know better. Thank you, Mr. Koretz.
Just for the record, I didn't want to imply that he was out campaigning. He's right here doing his job.
All right. Thank you for listening to Mr. Walsh, Mr. Koretz. Antonio Lopez.
Lady for interpretation, please. The interpreter, please.
The interpreter, please. Thank you. Hold this time.
Buenos días cada uno que se encuentran aquí trabajando para
Good morning to all of you who are present
para
here
las
working
ciudades y comunidades
for the cities,
angelicales en diferentes 87 ciudades
for the cities and the communities and the different 87 communities.
¿Qué han hecho en todo este tiempo que ha pasado? ¿Qué ha mejorado la ciudad de Los Ángeles?
What have you done in the past? What have you done to make the city of Los Angeles a better place?
Los puentes de la calle Las 6 y las puentes de la calle Las 7 se están cayendo.
The bridges on 6th and 7th Streets are falling apart.
Por darle permisos y los carros andan dando vuelta de las compañías filmadoras. ¿Es posible de eso?
Because you're giving out, you're approving permits. The cars are going around in circles and the filming companies are taking over.
Las máquinas están paradas de allí, de arreglar las calles y todo eso de calles y pavimentos. ¿Es justo con de trabajadores con ustedes como ustedes allí? ¿Es justo, señor?
The machines are stopped. And is it fair? Is it fair for this to be happening and the workers are just standing still?
15 miles que el señor alcalde Eric Garcetti prometió. Ha fallado. ¿Es posible?
The promises that Mr. Garcetti made, he has not
Gracias a
met.
cada uno de ustedes.
Is that possible?
Soy Antonio López.
All right, that completes the public comment on that. Thank you very much.
All right, let's welcome to the floor Councilmember Tom LaBonge.
Thank you very much, members. Several years ago, we started a program of neighborhood names, and Little Tokyo had a name historically all the time. Chinatown, obviously, all down the line it came. But these dear friends of ours, they live in the Wilshire district. Come on out there. They can get that. Come on out. And they're the people from Bangladesh, and they wanted Little Bangladesh. So they filled out the paperwork, and they found out that Koreatown, when Koreatown was formed, Mayor Bradley, 6'5", John Farrell, 6'4", they just went out and put up the signs, Koreatown. So when they said, wow, there was no record of where it was, they wanted to cut out part of Koreatown. So there was a little street rumble at 3rd and Vermont, and I had to play peacemaker, and we worked it all out where we carved out Little Bangladesh on 3rd Street from New Hampshire all the way to Alexandria. And it's so special because these are very special people. 22,000 people, Bangladeshi descent, live within the Wilshire corridor there. The great mosque, the Southern California Islamic Center on Vermont, which used to be in my district, is right there at the heart at 4th Street. So when I was able to get them the name, and I had the help of Mr. Garcetti, he said, yeah, Tom, go help him when he was a councilman. That was his old trick. Tom, go help him. When we helped him, we both took credit for it. But this is something that's very special. And I just got to give you a little roundabout. 1972, 1966, the last concert, before the last concert, Dodgers Stadium, Beatles, I saw them in 66. George Harrison was my favorite Beatle.
Right, yeah.
George Harrison gave the first concert for anybody, any rocker, any time in '72, the concert for Bangladesh. And I always had affection for George and the people of Bangladesh. That's what makes our city. So they wanted to say hello. They had a big event the other night. I couldn't make it.
Yes,
but Muhammad, who you recognize, who's the captain, give him a big. He's the captain at the Biltmore of all the banquet rooms. Good to see you, Mom. Say a quick word.
Okay. Thanks for we having to us over here. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Council President Mr. Herb Boysen and other distinguished council members. Please take our sincere gratitude and thanks for all the effort that all of you have made to make Little Bangladesh possible. Sincerely, especially Tom Lavange, Anthony Villaraigosa, and Mayor Eric Garcetti help us to make Little Bangladesh possible. As you know, Tom Lavange will be leaving office this year. We wish him success in his career and future. We will miss him greatly.
Thank you.
Today, we came here on the behalf of the Little Bangladesh of America, USA, to present to him with his Appreciation Award. At this moment, we'd like to present our Council Member Tom Lavange, the small the Appreciation Award to him, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So you're going to give this certificate first?
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a great, what do you call it, Lifetime Achievement Award? Lifetime Achievement Award for getting some street signs. I love that. I want to thank all the guys, Eric Taylor over in the sign shop. I want to thank Zachy who got the signs up, and everybody else. This is special. This is why we do what we do, ladies and gentlemen. We help people, and helping people with a simple street sign gives them love for Los Angeles. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. Congratulations, Tom. Well deserved. Appreciate that. All right. With that, colleagues, we're going to go ahead and take the special meeting and continue that until this Friday. So that will take us then to announcements. Do we have any announcements? Seeing none. One. Mr. Labange.
80 years ago, the greatest doors next to the City Hall were opened at the Griffith Observatory. It's its 80th anniversary. And I want to thank all my colleagues because over the years you've been very supportive of the observatory. Nothing's better than a sea of yellow buses, which you supported field trips for schools. But the public's welcome to the 80th anniversary of the Griffith Observatory. Dr. Edward C. Krupp, director, will give a lecture at noon if it doesn't rain. Thank you.
Great, thank you. And we have motions that need to be posted and referred. So duly noted. That'll be the action. And with that, do we have any adjourning motions? I'm going to look to my right. Seeing none. And we have one. Okay, so if we can get everybody to please rise for adjourning motions. Everybody please rise. Councilmember Buscaino.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, I ask that we rise and adjourn in memory of Gaspar Aceta, who was born in Trapeto, Sicily in 1946 and passed away this Sunday around his family. He moved to San Pedro in 1971 and worked the Star-Kissed Tuna Company as a forklift operator for 43 years. And when he wasn't spending time with his family and friends, he was busy participating, very active in the Trapedo Club of San Pedro. He's survived by his loving wife of 43 years, 4 children, Virginia, Paula, Mateo, Salvatore, 9 grandchildren, brothers Paolo and Antonino and Girolamo, along with his sisters Vincenza and Girolama. Also, several brothers and sister-in-laws, nephews, nieces, and cousins. Visitation and viewing will be held tomorrow from 3 to 7 at McNerney's. And the funeral mass will be offered on Friday at Mary's Star of the Sea Parish at 11 a.m. May he rest in peace. Thank you, colleagues.
Thank you. Seeing no, one more, Mr. Labange.
One thing is we did have a motion for action to help the people in Nepal. We also want to adjourn in the victims of the earthquake in Nepal that we sent to the Council General. So please, Mr. Clerk, note that. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. And I believe we do have an announcement as well from Councilmember Price.
I just want to announce that the Economic Development Committee will convene at 2:30 this afternoon. Economic Development, 2:30.
All right.
Thank you.
It's usually what time you go to the dentist, 2:30. All right, so with that, we are adjourned. Be safe out there. Thank you.